Welcome to the channel Physics Made Easy. In the ISC sample paper, section D, we have discussed question 20. Today we will discuss question 21 and question 22. Let's see question 21. State and prove principle of Wheatstone's bridge. What is the principle of Wheatstone's bridge? You have to state like this. If four resistances are connected in such a way, I am telling the principle statement. If four resistances are connected in such a way that they represent four sides of a parallelogram, and in one diagonal galvanometer and in other diagonal a cell is connected, then if there is no current through the galvanometer, then the bridge, this formation of bridges here, this bridge is said to be balanced, and the ratio of resistances of two adjacent sides is same as ratio of resistances of other two adjacent sides. Here if you write this is P, this is Q, this is R, this is S, then in the balanced state, this bridge formation is said to be balanced when this ratio of two adjacent side, that is P upon Q, is same as ratio of resistances of other two adjacent sides, that is R upon S. So this is the statement. This is true when there is no current. Current through galvanometer is Ig, then no current through galvanometer, that is Ig is 0. How to prove it? Let us say that this is A, B, C, D. Look, if the cell key is made on, then current flow through this positive terminal of the cell. Here suppose it is divided into two parts, I1, and here in this part it is I2. Okay, then this I1 will move further and reach at point B. Here, since there will be no current in the galvanometer in the balanced state, so this I1 will continue to flow through path BC. Here this I2 and this DC, again this I2 will flow. How to prove this balanced state? You know, when there is no current through galvanometer, then point B and D, they are also at the same potential, because current flow only takes place when there is potential difference. Now, how to prove this balanced state condition? Take this loop A, B, D, A using Kirchhoff's rule. How will you find the loop equation? Look here, this I1 into P you can write. There is no current through galvanometer. Then here this is minus I2 into R. Look here in this loop. And there is no EMF in this loop, source of EMF, so it is equal to 0. It means I1P equal to I2R. Similarly, in this loop B, C, D, B, if you take this one B, C, D, B closed loop, what will you write? This I1 into Q minus this I2 into S. Look, direction is opposite, this is here, and there is no current, so this is 0 equal to 0. There is no current here. From this equation, what is there? I1Q equal to I2S. This is equation number 1. This is equation number 2 using loop rule. Divide equation 1 and 2. What will you get here? This P by Q, I1 will be cancelled, and R upon S, I2 will be cancelled, which is here. So learn the statement. Here some more questions can be asked, that What is the potential of point B and D? Same. You should know all these 4 resistances. Is it necessary? No. In case of experiment of meter bridge, we take 1 meter length of wire, which is asked in the another question. It is given. Then a balanced point is obtained at certain length of the wire, then the other length and this first length, they represent the ratio of the resistances. Although these are the lengths ratio, but these will be the ratio of the resistances because resistance is directly proportional to length. Then which wire is used in meter bridge? That is standard alloy, nichrome, Constantan or magnin. Okay. Look the part B. In this figure there is a circuit given. Find X. Here the balance point from A is given, A to O. Suppose this is 40 centimeter. In the figure of meter bridge, I have not written the whole question. This is the 2 ohm resistance, this is unknown resistance, this is meter bridge wire of 1 meter length, and this is balancing length as 40 centimeter from the end A for this 2 and X. Find the value of X. Just we have seen in the part A, P by Q is R by S. Suppose this is R and this is unknown resistance X or S, and this will be P and this remaining length will be Q. If this is 40, then what will be this length? This will be 60. So as per this condition, how will you solve the second part? You will write R upon X as 40 upon 60, which implies that X will be equal to this 2, this is 3. Then what will be X? Look the value of R. R is 2. Then you will find here this X will be 3 ohm since R is 2 ohm given here. Second part says if null point is to be obtained at 50 centimeter from point A, what resistance should be connected with X? If null point is to be obtained at 50 centimeter, then the remaining portion of the length will be also of 50 centimeter. Then what will you let the new resistance? Let the new resistance is Y. Then what will you write here? This 2 upon Y will be 50 upon 50. That means Y equal to 2 ohm. So in place of X, if you will connect the Y 2 ohm, then you will get null point at the position of 50 centimeter. But in this question, what resistance should be connected with X? X is to be used. You are getting value of X 3 ohm. We have here just obtained the value of X 3 ohm, but now it is becoming 2 ohm. That means whatever may be the value of resistance connected with X, that will be in parallel, because in parallel resistance value decreases. Let that value is R or any other value. You can suppose that value is R dash. Then use the parallel law, that is 1 upon Y, the net resistance will be equal to 1 upon R dash plus 1 upon X. In X, if you connect R dash in parallel, you will get Y. What is Y? 2. Put here this 1 by 2 equal to 1 by R dash plus 1 by 3. That means 1 by R dash equal to 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. That is R dash will be this 3, this is 2, 6. So R dash will be 6 ohm. Okay. You will get here, this is 3 2 ja 6, this will be 3 minus 2, 1, 1 by 6, so R dash will be 6 ohm. How will you connect R dash with X? In parallel. So in this way, you have to solve this first part. The choice part of question 21. Part A. Show that electric potential at a point P at a distance r from a fixed point charge Q is given by V equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. You know, electric potential is defined as work done by the test charge in bringing it from infinity to a point in electric field. Then the ratio of this work done and this test charge is electric potential at that point. Here it is given a point charge is capital Q. It is given a fixed point charge. Suppose it is situated at point O, and suppose at the point A its distance is x, and we have to find the at point P, which is situated at a distance r from the fixed point charge Q. So suppose we take this point P, and the distance between Q and P is given r. Okay. We suppose from infinity, as per definition, the test charge is brought and placed at this point, then work done per unit test charge will be the electric potential at this point. And what is to be proved? This one. How will you prove? Suppose we bring the test charge from point A to point B, a very little distance, that is delta x, apart from A to B. Okay, then what is the work done? You know, work done is given by force dot displacement. As is it scalar quantity, this is dot product. Here, using this formula, what can you write? A very small amount of work done in bringing the test charge Q naught from the point A, which is at the distance x from the point charge, to the point B at the distance displacement of delta x. From A to B, the distance is delta x. Then what will be the small amount of work done? We will write dW, and it will be here this minus F into delta x, or dx we can write here. Why? Because this f dot d, you know, it is fd cos theta. What is theta here? The point charge has its force, its electric field in this direction, and displacement of the test charge is done from A to B against this electric force. So theta is 180 degree. Cos 180 is minus 1. So this minus is here. Now to find the net work done, this equation is to be integrated. What will be integration sign? From where to where? From infinity to the distance r, that is this at point P, whose distance is r from the point charge as it is given. So apply the limits from infinity to the r. Now put the value here, bring minus sign out of the bracket. What is the force at this point A? You can write here, this is infinity to r, this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon x square. At this point A, the force due to q, electric field. Here this is q charge, and you are writing here this is q and q naught, then this is the electrical force if you place the test charge q naught at point A. This into dx. What will you get here? Look, this you will get here, this implies that minus q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and within integration limit infinity to r, 1 upon x square dx. Learn what will be this integration? Minus 1 by x. So what will you get? Therefore work done you will get minus q upon 4 q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught and minus 1 by x, limits from infinity to r. Therefore what will you get? 1 upon infinity, this is 1 by r, this minus minus will become plus. So this work done will be given by q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. As per the definition of electric potential, therefore V equal to W upon Q naught gives the expression 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R, which is desired. Okay. Come to the second part. In this circuit diagram, you have to find the currents I1 and I2, which is they are shown in the figure. Look, we will use Kirchhoff's rule to solve this question. Here, if you see that in the Kirchhoff's rule, how will you apply the and which rule you will apply to solve in solving the question. It is given here, this is 1 ohm resistance, this is 2 volt cell and I1 current. In this section 2 ohm resistance, if you take the loop, this one, if you write there its name A, B, C, D, E, F. Look, then in the loop A, B, C, D, A, B, C, F, A, B, C, F, A, closed loop. How will you write the expression? Using Kirchhoff's rule. Look here, there is no resistance. Here I1 and from here it is coming I2. So what will you write for this section? Both the currents are present. 2 into I1 plus I2. Okay. Then here again you will find that I1 will move in this section, I2 will move in this section. So this is I1, there is no resistance, so you will not write anything here. I1 into 1, so you will write here plus 1 into I1. Here minus 2, because this is negative terminal, this is positive. You can apply the Kirchhoff's rule here. This is minus 2, this equal to 0. You can also apply by taking here minus sign and here plus sign. It is given here that this minus 2 plus you are going, then you can put here this plus 2 if you take here minus sign. So don't get confused. What will be here? Open this bracket. This 1 I1 and 2 I1 will make it 3 I1 plus 2 I2, and this will be equal to 2. This is equation number 1. Similarly, in this loop, look here, D, C, F, E, D. I am showing here. How will you write the expression for the loop rule? Here I2, there is no resistance. Here 2 into I1 plus I2 as usual. So you will write here 2 into I1 plus I2 as usual. Okay, here again I2, and here you will find 6 ohm. And 6 ohm, which current? This I2. So I2 into 6, you will write plus 6 I2, and here again this minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, this implies that 2 I1, okay, 2 I1 plus 2 I2 and 6 I2 will make it 8 I2 equal to 3. This is equation number 2. How to solve these equations? Simple. Multiply this equation with 2 and this equation with 3 and subtract. We are going to solve this question. Then equation 1, if you multiply it with 2, you will get 6 I1 plus 4 I2 equal to 4. Equation 2 multiplied with 3, you will get 6 I1 plus 24 I2 equal to 9. Now subtract this minus, this minus, this minus. What will you get here? This is cancelled. This is minus 20 I2. Here will be minus 5. This means I2 will be 5 upon 20 or 1 by 4 ampere. Put I2 in any of the expressions. You will get here from here 3 I1 will be 2 minus 2 I2, that is 2 within bracket 1 minus I2. What is I2? 1 by 4. This implies that 2 into 1 minus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. So this is 1 minus 1 by 4. Okay, this 3 by 4. 2 is common. So this is 3 by 4 into 2, and what is here? This will be 3 by 2. 3 I1 is 3 by 2. Therefore, I1 is 1 by 2 ampere. You can also check your answer in any of the expression. You put I1 half, so this will be 3 by 2. You put I2 1 by 4, so this will be 2 by 4, that is half. 3 by 2 plus half, 4 by 2 or 2. So these equations are correct. The last question, question 22. A part in a series LCR circuit, obtain an expression for resonant frequency. Draw graph showing variation of impedance with frequency of AC supply. You know, in series LCR circuit, I naught is given by E naught by Z, where Z is the impedance given by R is under root R square plus omega L minus 1 upon omega C whole square. You can also see this is XL, this is called XC. Inductive reactance and capacitive reactance. In the circuit, resonance is said to be taking place when omega L is equal to 1 upon omega C. In this case, the current in the circuit will be maximum, circuit will become purely resistive, phase difference between current and voltage will become 0. These are the conditions of resonance. So you have to learn all these conditions. Here at resonance, what happens? At resonance, omega L is equal to 1 upon omega C. What does it mean? That omega square is 1 upon LC, or you can write omega is 1 upon under root LC. This happens at resonance, so it is written by omega naught or omega R. How to find the expression for resonant frequency? Learn that at resonance, this inductive reactance is same as capacitive reactance. So this is the frequency of resonance. Second part, draw graph. How will you plot the graph? You know, at the resonance, if you take the impedance or Z here at y-axis, then you show this dotted line here. For minimum, this is the x-axis. If you write here this height, look, it from this to this value, this is called dynamic impedance. Here at this point, this Z is equal to R, and if you see the impedance, then impedance is minimum or current is maximum. You have seen that at resonance, this part become omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, so this part becomes 0. Impedance becomes minimum, then current is maximum. So minimum impedance is here at this point when Z is equal to R. Z will be under root R square only, so this will be. Now what happens if you see here, then this will be the part when XC will be greater than XL. Look, if this is the frequency axis, then you can see that at the resonance frequency F naught, Z is equal to R, this minimum is the impedance, maximum is the current. Before that, if the applied frequency is less than resonant frequency, the circuit behaves as capacitive, because for less F, this will dominate. And for frequency greater than resonant frequency, that is for this part of the graph, if you say, then for this part of the graph, you will find XL will be greater than XC. That is, the circuit will behave inductive. This is also asked that more than resonant frequency, the circuit will be inductive. For less than resonant frequency, the circuit will be capacitive. So this is the graph. Now in the B part, in an ideal transformer, an output of 66 kV is required when available input is 220 volt. Find the number of turns in secondary coil if primary coil has 200 turns. You know, in case of ideal transformer, if you write here the B part, we have seen the transformation ratio, this NS upon NP is this ES upon EP. What is NS and NP? NS you have to find, so this NS will be equal to ES upon EP into NP. What is ES? Secondary voltage. This is output, that is 66 kV. So you write 66 into 10 to the power 3. What is EP? This upon EP. EP is 220. You will write here this 22 into 10, 220. Okay, so that you can, this 22, 3 ja 66 into NP. You, what is NP? This is 200. You write here 200. So what will you get here? This 10, this 1 0 is cancelled, 23 ja 60, 60,000. So how many turns the secondary coil will have? 60,000 for the ideal transformer. Last part, which magnetic material A or B is dia or para in the given figure? Look here, this is the magnetization, this is the magnetic field intensity H. This graph shows for A and this is for B. How will you say? You know simply that diamagnetic materials are magnetized in the direction opposite to the applied field. So what will be B? Here this is negative. So B will be dia and A will be para. On applying the magnetic field, A is magnetized in the direction of magnetic field. So it is positive and this is negative. So B is dia, A is para. The choice question of question 22. Part A, obtain an expression for magnetic flux density B at the center of a circular coil of radius R having N turns and carrying a current I. You know, if the circular coil of radius R is shown like this, where the current flowing through the coil is in this direction and this current is I. Okay, this current is flowing in this direction. You know, in Biot-Savart's law, we have seen that for the center of the, suppose this is the center, and for very small current element, what will be the magnetic field? We will write here as per Biot-Savart law, this delta B is given by mu naught upon 4 pi I delta L sin theta upon R square, where this is given capital R. So you write here this is the radius R. This is the small delta L current element. You can write I delta L like this. Here theta will be 90 as this radius and tangent, they are 90 perpendicular, so sin 90 will be 1. To get the direction of magnetic field, look, right hand thumb rule. So at the center magnetic field will be perpendicular upward. How much will be the magnetic field? This magnetic field is due to this small current element. So to get the magnetic field due to whole loop, you will integrate it. So what will you write here? This will be dB and it can be written as mu naught upon 4 pi this I upon R square. This sin theta will become 1 sin 90 and within integration sin this dl. Okay. What is this total dl? Total length of the periphery. You know, R radius circular loop. Total periphery will be 2 pi r. So this net magnetic field you will write B will be given by mu naught upon 4 pi I by R square into what will you write here? This 2 pi r. Now look here, this 2 pi, this will be 2 here, this R square, this will be R. So finally what will be B? Mu naught I upon 2R. So this is the magnitude of magnetic field and the direction is perpendicular to the center as per the right hand thumb rule. Okay, now look the B part. To increase the current sensitivity of a moving coil galvanometer by 50%, its resistance is increased. If new resistance is twice the initial resistance, by what factor does its voltage sensitivity change? Learn that current sensitivity, I am writing with CS, for a moving coil galvanometer is given by how? This phi upon I is NAB upon K. And voltage sensitivity in a moving coil galvanometer, that is given by phi upon IR, this is V, is given by NAB upon KR. What can you conclude here? That current sensitivity, voltage sensitivity can be written as current sensitivity upon R. Look here, this is current sensitivity phi upon I upon R. You can write in this way. It is given in the first case that current sensitivity and voltage sensitivity, this is the relation we know. If the current sensitivity is to be increased by 50%, what does it mean? If this is NAB upon K or phi upon I, then in the new case it will become 3 by 2 phi upon I, or you can write 3 by 2 NAB upon K. This is the current sensitivity. For making this change, the resistance is to be made twice. Then find the voltage sensitivity. What will you write here? New voltage sensitivity. Suppose voltage sensitivity new, then what will you write? New current sensitivity upon 2R, because resistance is made twice. As per the given expression, you have written this. You have to find this value, and this CS new sensitivity is 3 by 2 NABK. So what will you write here? Look here, this voltage sensitivity new one. Is it shown? It is new current sensitivity, that is 3 by 2 NAB upon K. This is new sensitivity upon 2R. So what you can write here? This is into 2R. This can be written as 3 by 4 NAB upon KR. What is NAB upon KR? This previous voltage sensitivity. That means the new voltage sensitivity is 3/4 of the previous voltage sensitivity. So how much, by what factor does the voltage sensitivity change? It will become 3/4 or 75% less. It is reduced. It will become 3/4. How much less? Than 1/4. 25% less, or this 3/4 voltage sensitivity of the old one will become now new one. So in this way you have to solve. I hope you must have enjoyed.